Hello, everyone. Hello, welcome. This is CBiz Media. This is Irene here. We have a great topic for you this evening. Happy pre-Valentine's Day. And we have a few ladies here in the room with us live right here on StreamYard. We're also on LICMC Radio, also the Facebook page, and the CBiz Media page as well. I'm going to ask Miss Denise if she could turn her camera off so we can add her into the conversation when we start our chat. Do we have Miss London on the line? Miss London, are you there?
I'm here.
Hello, Miss London.
Hello.
Miss London is here with us from LICMC Radio. And what do you have to say to the people, Miss London, just to welcome them in?
Actually, I would think that I'm just here to do the show, and I just think that everybody can have a good time if they come and listen to what we have to say when it comes to. Really, I think relationships are going to be part of this, so just welcome.
Yes, we're your hosts for tonight. This is again Irene in London from LICMC Radio as well as CBiz Media. We have Dr. Charlene Smith in the room, and we have TV host Denise Scott with us as well. I'm going to bring you ladies in to say hello. Hello, ladies.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
So we know Miss Denise. Miss Denise, did you want to just briefly introduce yourself and say hello to the people?
Thank you. My name is Denise Scott. I go by Destiny. And thank you very, very much for inviting me to come on. I feel honored. I hope everyone has a beautiful and lovely day tomorrow. I'm the owner of Entrepreneur Empire and Passion for Fashion. And again, thank you.
Thank you. And we have a special guest with us, Dr. Charlene Smith. I want to thank you for accepting our invitation to join us this evening. Can you share a little bit about yourself, introduce yourself, and say hello to the people?
Sure. Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Charlene Smith. I'm a senior dating and relationship coach. I am an author of the book Senior Seeking Soulmate. I have a TV show on the African American Network called Set It Off Senior Style. have a radio spot with Dr. Shar, the Love Doctor, on KROV here in San Antonio, Texas. I have courses if people are interested in changing their mindsets and wanting to prepare to get the desires of their heart. I help people become the partner that they desire. I really appreciate your invitation, and as we get to talking, I'll share more.
Okay, thank you so much. So again, we were talking about it's pre-Valentine's Day, and we want to celebrate love here on LICMC Radio with CBiz Media. And the climate of love and relationships. I'm so glad we have Dr. Charlene on with us as well. Um, I kind of want to see your gauge, ladies, as to how you're feeling when it comes to love, as far as how society is projecting love. Um, do you feel that it's negative? Do you feel that it's positive? What's the climate when it comes to love and relationships right now?
This is Dr. Shar. I'll take that question. Now, I deal mostly with seniors, women of color over 50 that have either been divorced or widowed. And because we've lived a little bit of life, sometimes there's still some hurt and pain from past relationships, be it divorce or the loss of a significant other. But what's happening now is that seniors are realizing that they're going to live longer and they do want to have a companion, that they are not buying into this thing about you're only beautiful if you're young and that you're too old for love. Senior women, particularly women of color, are saying they do want that and they are able to get out there, but sometimes they just don't know how to start again. Now, there is a lot of negativity out there as well. I was in a chat group the other day, and the women were really just negative. They don't need love in their lives and all of this, but love actually creates health in our lives. So it's a life-saving thing to have love in your life. And it's a mindset change to get out of that negativity. I'm telling you, women over 50 are beautiful. There are good men out there that are single that want companionship too. We need to lift each other up. Being people of color, we need to lift each other up. And that's part of my mission. Take a risk, become the partner that you desire. Don't bash other people and get out there and love yourself first. Be good to you. And when that happens, you can open your heart for love and receive love.
Thank you so much, Doctor. I love the positive tone that you have when it comes to this conversation, because it can be a lot of negativity, and you were talking mostly about the senior community. Well, I'll say at large, it can be a lot of negativity. We've heard a lot of divorces and just a lot of failed relationships, especially recently. And I have a project called "Why I Didn't Get Married," and I kind of share my story as well. And then I also followed that up with something called the Vision of Love Project, where many of us ladies got together and kind of worked on. We started in progress our vision board as to what we wanted when it came to our love lives and relationships as single women. So we were moving in a hopeful direction, trying to let go of those negative thoughts that, oh, it's never going to happen for us. We've had too many failed relationships. We've had divorces, and all of these things, or things just didn't work out. But we were really trying to create a vision for what we wanted, and not looking at all the negativity surrounding us, and all of the even our own past failures in relationships. We wanted to be intentional about what we were looking for and what we wanted. And I think that was part of the key. That's part of the key, is to be more intentional. I think sometimes we find ourselves caught up in relationships, and because we did not have the mindset of what we wanted to do, our purpose in the relationship, we may have just been going willy nilly, or we just may have fallen too far too fast, and just not being mindful of what we really wanted. But being of a certain age, and in this day and age and climate, you really have to know what you want, and you have to be able to spot those red flags and all of those things. So that's really what we were going for when it comes to this time. When people focus on love and relationships, and it's something that you should focus on, I think, from time to time, because many times we do get caught up in our careers, our jobs, or if you have a single mom and you have your kids and all that, you just don't have the time to really think about it. And if someone comes into your life, you may not be prepared, and you may just take on something that you're not really sure what you're taking on. So that's why we really wanted to be intentional. Now we have TV host Miss Denise Scott on the line. I kind of want to get her thoughts when it comes to the climate of love right now. And I think she has herself muted. Oh, here,
Yes.
here she is.
Thank you. I think it's up and down just because as women we were told to, we have to be strong, we have to take care of our family, and we're not vulnerable. So, as far as looking for love, we want love. I've been married almost 30 years. So, I'm just speaking on my experiences and what I've seen. Um, I think that women want to be vulnerable. They want to be told, that they look beautiful. Um, they also want to be pampered. And I don't think that men are capable of doing that. So the rise and fall of love is really hard because you see a lot of women out there that have different baby fathers, and I don't blame them for that because it's like you think that the next one is going to be that right one. So I think we just have to be mindful of how we love ourselves, how we love our children, because that's going to make the world in the future better for them. If people are able to co-parent better and not put so much love, hate on themselves and their relationships when it is over or through that breakup. Um, yeah, I think that it'd just be a little better if we just love ourselves a little more and be open and honest about what we really want.
Well, I want to ask you, being married 30 years, what is your mindset being in that type of relationship where you're probably looking on at other people, what they're going through, and then you're in your own marriage, uh, like tell us a little bit about your mindset when it comes to being in that type of situation, being married for 30 years.
Um, First, put God because you're going to have your ups and downs. Um, and don't, and this is most important, don't lose sight of who you are in that relationship because we become so, I need to be the best mom, I need to be the best wife, and you put yourself on the back burner. And I'm talking about myself, and I've all of my friends have been married about the same amount of time. um so yeah, no matter if you gain in weight or no matter what it is, that as women we don't put ourselves first enough. We give up our careers, because we're taking the kids back and forth to school or we're taking them back and forth to practices. No matter what that is, we're putting ourselves on the back burner. So if you do that, depression sets in, sometimes resentment sets in, sometimes it makes you feel like you haven't accomplished anything in your personal life as a human being set aside, because even though I understand the two makes one, don't lose sight of who you are as a person, because you will lose your joy, you'll lose the excitement. You don't want to do your hair, you don't want, and I'm not saying that nobody needs to dress up, I'm just saying you need to love yourself as well as love your family and what you're doing, because if you lose sight of that, then it's just going to be downhill.
Thank you so much for sharing your perspective. I want to go to Miss London and see what are your thoughts when it comes to the climate of love and relationships right now.
Hi. Well, I really enjoyed that. It's nice to meet the doctor, and also Mr. Niche. You said a lot of things that was kind of I was thinking of as myself. So I really appreciate the both of you. So I can say I'm a woman that have been um married 3 times, and now I guess it depends on who you are. I like the part when Mr. Denise was saying, you gotta know who you are, and that's a great point. You got to get to a point in your life that you know who you are, what you like, what you know what I'm saying, and once you become happy within yourself, you know who you are, and it's a growth period because you know something when I was a lot younger, and I was taught a certain way, Christian background and everything, um, about how you're supposed to when you go into your relationship or your basically your marriage from the scripture, but it needs to be on both sides, and that's the part that I think we missed. Being a good wife, being a good partner, which in our family we don't do partners. We are going to look forward to a relationship which will lead to to tying the knot. And if you care about me and I care about you, you know, then we could do it that way. Like today's climate, as you say, a lot of people say, "Well, I want to try it first," which I think has been going on for a long time. It's not really that new, but it's the thing. I believe that it's just more open. Well, people say, I want to try it out first, see if it's going to work." So it all depends on where a person's mindset is. What you know, from my standpoint, I was taught marriage, and then really, if you want to give all of yourself up to someone to find that they're going to leave or that they're going to um, not respect you, So I guess that's after the point of getting to the relationship. But I guess beforehand, what I've learned on the way to where I am now, I began to learn who I was, and I began to learn how things operate in some areas with how men think. They don't think like we do. So, and they might be compassionate, but like Mr. Nee said, she said a lot of times they don't always show it. Um, and I mean, like we do. We are compassionate. Women are compassionate. We're motherly. We're all that kind of thing. So I think, if we can learn to compromise and learn each other first, and I always learned this later on. I said, you know what? Something my husband had said to me, and I really got offended about it because he had friends. We went to University of Cincinnati together and this and that. He had friends. And as a matter of fact, we were singing together, and some of those friends were our friends. But he would say, I'm looking for attention, or what are we going to do? Well, I got to go such and such of my friend. And then that's when I started thinking, he sure treats his friends nice. He's worried about his friend and this and that, house friends. And so I said this, I believe that I'd like to be friends first. I like when people say I have a friend, it seems like you treat your friend in many ways better than you might treat somebody in a relationship. And I think I had said something to him, well, he said, you're my wife, you're not my friend. Like that. Those are my friends. You're my wife. I'm like, what? So, a lot of times those relationships, it takes a little bit to learn about how people think. But I learned that. I said, well, I think if you can start off being friends first and really getting to know each other, that might be a good key point. Now, like the doctor said, if you want to get out and start, uh, socializing, associating, I would just be very careful. And I do think the older we get I think we should be able to, and I'm not going to say it because I've seen some things happen with older relationships that was some kind of immature. So I'm glad she has some type of classes that people can take and advice. But I would think for me, after life and the children and work and business or whatever, and find out who I am I'm a giving person, so you know, what I don't want to do, if I ever were to date again and look into that, is to give all and not receive back. So there's a lot of questions that come precursor, you know, to getting into relationships. And I think knowing yourself, knowing who you are, knowing, you know, uh, knowing how you think, what you feel that you want. You know, of course, we have to compromise, but still, if we can get our own selves together and find out what I like, what kind of gentleman would I like to be with, and are you willing to give, and then are you willing to compromise with it, you know, because some women, such as myself, are independent. I was a mother, I was a mom that was married, and then ended up divorced, and raised, and it was better for the family from the situation on raising the children, you know. Things were better because the other person just didn't have it together, and the whole, like, the whole ship was going to sink. So that's how, you know, sometimes you end up doing that. But I paid a lot of attention to my children the best that I could. I worked and went to school, and I believe that I've always been independent enough. Like, if you can, let's get this done. You know, if I see something needs to get done, I would do it. I wouldn't like always be dependable on somebody else, or either, you know, if somebody's going to pitch in, I'd be happy. So I think that was maybe an issue with some of um, the relationship, the marriage, is because my being able to move forward to help the situation. In my mind, you know, if we're together and we love each other, and if you're not able to pick up the slack and I do, then it's for you and me, not just me, and it's not like a pride thing. So you know, it's just interesting how people think. But the main thing I believe, and I'm going to give it back to you, is to be able to know who you are for yourself, and learn, and to be happy and have your own personal joy and your own happiness, and like be happy about yourself and about what you're doing. um you know, and definitely God is the key. You know, everybody may think that or not, but for me, I know God is a blesser, he's a strengthener, he's a teacher. And you know, if you go through some things, you have somebody to pray to. It's an anchor. You know, if you have an anchor, a spiritual anchor like that, so you won't just feel like you're out there flip flopping around, not knowing what to do. You know, so I believe life teaches us lessons. So by the time we do become older, more mature, we kind of can see those red flags, and maybe from there we can make better decisions.
Amen. Thank you, Miss London, for your perspective and your thoughts and just sharing about your history and different things that you've gone through. I want to go to my next question is how will you be celebrating love during this season? Does anyone want to chime in on that?
I can go first. This is Denise. I celebrate love by actually I tell my kids I love them every single day, and they used to get tired of it. They be like, "Mommy, I need to hear it all the time." But I think that if the ones that you really do truly love, you need to let them know that. I know that everybody has their own love language, um, but I think it's important to let people know how you feel, express it, even if it's just by giving them a rose or some flowers. You know, as they say, celebrate people while they're here, and be respectful and mindful of loving yourself the same way that you want to other people to love you as well. Um, and to piggyback off of, because what Miss London was saying about getting to know people and people getting to know you, uh, Steve Harvey used to say, wait 3 months before you give your cookies up. So that just made me think that people need to take the time to get to know each other, because there might be something that might be missing, or you might not understand, or you might just seem as disrespectful. So when you see people habits or their traits in their character, as you're learning yourself, because it all depends on how old you are. Some people, like Miss London said, some people are even that up in age can be, immature. So just take the time to get to know people. I just wanted to say that. Thank you.
This Dr. Charlene. I would like to say a few things. Everyone's making excellent points. The course side, we go through a self assessment and we learn the love languages, we learn how the world perceives us, how we perceive ourselves, and it's a process that you go through. And we do a values clarification exercise also, and that values clarification leads to developing a list of the desires of your heart. And that's what someone alluded to, is knowing what it is you want in a partner. And in this course, we go through those desires. It's not the physical or the surface things, it's about who you really can get along with and what your values are. Do they match up to yours? So, for example, for me, I am a Christian and I want a man that's practicing their beliefs. Now, they don't need to go to church every Sunday, but I do want them to go to church and read the Bible and pray and do all those things. I met somebody one time that said they were a God fearing man. And that's when I was earlier in my faith travel. And I thought that was great. But as I explored it, they had a respect for God, but they didn't go to church, they didn't read the Bible, they weren't kind and all of these other things. So waiting that 90 days is really good. I also talk about the difference between dating and relationships. Dating is an exploration. Can you sit across from that person on a coffee date? And then can you sit across from that person from some type of activity? It might be a couple of hours. And you're exploring. And it's okay to date different people because it's an exploration. Sometimes we take dating as a relationship. So we talk about identifying the difference between dating, taking your time, and getting into a relationship. And that's a communication process if you're going to get into a relationship. And someone said Steve Harvey. Well, 90 days is great because then by then you know if you're going to have an argument, how you're going to resolve the argument. The true person starts to come out. But really, seeing that person through all the seasons of a year, how they respond to things. And then if you're still getting along with that person, then yeah, consider if you want a long term commitment. Some seniors don't get married because they have benefits and they'll lose them if they get married. But for younger people, yes, that long term commitment is important, but you got to know who you are, and that's a process of loving yourself. You asked about how do we experience joy and how we celebrate love. I live a life with an attitude of gratitude. I am so thankful. And that's how things come to me. And I teach my folks in the courses how to radiate so that they attract their soulmate. We as women, we don't go looking for a husband. That's the man's role. Our role is to be prepared for that. And our role is to be the partner that we desire. So if you want someone that's financially stable, you need to be financially stable. In other words, you need to get your act together. So I celebrate me, I celebrate love, I have an attitude of gratitude, and then that exudes my joyfulness, and I'm able to have my heart open to receive and give love and have those joyful days, as someone said, by having that positive attitude and radiating that positivity. So that's how I celebrate love, is first of all finding out what others' love languages are, because my love language is spending time, that quality time. Now I enjoy getting gifts and I enjoy acts of service, but if you really want to show me that you love me, you're going to find ways to spend that time with me, that quality time, not 24/7, but quality time. So learning each other's language is important also, and that communication. So celebrating love is understanding your partner, understanding you, finding out what people need to feel like they're loved. But number one, as we all have said, loving yourself first, being positive and taking care of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was waiting to leave your info in the private chat. If you're in the private chat. If you see that tab, you can leave your info if you would like to, so we can continue to stay connected. And if anyone watching has any questions, you can email us here at licmc.netradio@gmail.com. That's licmc.netradio@gmail.com. And I'll be asking the ladies to share their info as we conclude this conversation. But yes, that was amazing how you were talking about how you celebrate love. And I think we should celebrate love year round, because the way you were explaining is just that you just celebrate love daily. And so I'm gonna be celebrating love with my girls this Valentine's Day. We're gonna be watching romantic movies, and we're gonna be eating chocolates, and that's how I'm gonna be celebrating love for Valentine's Day. But in life, I am gonna be more mindful of, like the doctor said, about others, and just to see how they would like to be loved and try to give that back to them. And we can kind of have a reciprocation in that way with friends, families, and possible partners in the future. So that's how I'll be celebrating love, is I'll be trying to be of service to others and put myself out there and be kind and giving and see where I can give in different scenarios in my life and people that I come across. And I'll just also pray for my brothers and my sisters and my loved ones, and for those possible people that may come into my life that may be a possible partner. So I'm going to continue in prayer, and I'm just going to be thankful, grateful, and see how I can be of service through just everyday, daily life. Miss London, how are you going to be celebrating love?
Well, kind of like you, because since I'm one of your girls, I'm your mother, right? And I don't know. We have a very, I would say, such a blessed little family connection that we have. Blessed little family hub. And I'm like, Miss Denise, when we were growing up, and we still do that now. Um, I love you. Or if you're leaving, everybody's hugging. Now I remember as children we did that. Our parents, they hugged us. We all hugged like six kids, mom and dad. Poppy was the pastor, and mom was a musician in church and all that. But at home, it's like it was a lot of. Always we would go to school. We would just all kiss. We would hug. Come back home, kiss, hug. And so we still do that with each other every time we see each other. Now, I could just saw you yesterday, but I see you again. Hey, how you doing? Love you. We always telling each other love you. So, like you said, it's a daily thing, really, everyday thing. You can grow into it. So, the celebration of love to me is all the time, and I'm like the doctor's chief. Like she said, the attitude of gratitude. I'm so grateful to God, for all the good things that He's blessed our family to have and have blessed me to have. So I'm very excited all the time because God always does great things. So it depends on how you feel, what type of personality you have, or whatever. But I'm just excited about life. I'm excited about what's happening. I'm excited about family, and I'm grateful and I'm thankful. So if you begin to feel that way, you know, the prayers go out, and you said celebrating love. Well, once again, I guess we will all be eating chocolate and watching romantic movies. I have a large family uh, texting thread. I lost my sister a few months ago, and I don't know. We try to be a little more connecting because everybody's not in the same um, location. So we started texting, and I'm telling you, some of the families meeting family, like the one cousin's meeting the cousin. My brother go like, "Who is that?" I said, "That's your nephew. That's your great nephew," and it's just been a lot of fun. So that's a part of a celebration to connect that way, and I thank God for the technology too. When you have people all over the country, possibly all over the world, but you still can connect And so I'm sure on Valentine's Day we're already sending out hearts. They have those little emojis, and that just makes you feel good if you just send a heart out. And even I have friends that are like family. So that's what happened with part of our celebration. We're sending out hearts, and we're telling each other that we love each other, our family, and some of the friends that we have. We've been so close. They call me sister. I call them sister. Brother, and just we're all family. So it's like a continuous thing, and it's a good support system to tell somebody you love them or to show that you care. So that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to continue what we're already doing, but I'm glad my family's showing their celebration mode with, as a matter of fact, they celebrate the football game. They're like, really, this is fun. They're celebrating Valentine's Day. When we were in school, if you remember back then, and I'm not sure how they do it now. They probably do, but we had, it was a little mandatory thing. It was automatic. It's Valentine's Day is coming. So we would get a Valentine's Day card and buy little gifts, and we would swap it in our classes. And I think that was just the most fun thing that I remember, even just growing up. Passing out those little candy hearts. And so they were teaching us then how to celebrate and appreciate each other. Um, so I think you can have a good connection, whether it's with a relationship that you're building or dating or your family and friends. I mean, so that's another way that I believe that brings about fulfillment in life when you have other people in your life, family, sisters, brothers, nieces, nephews, and people that you talk to, cousins, just people that you connect with often. And so you won't feel alone either if you perhaps want to build that relationship. I wanted to say one thing too. I want to go back a little bit because we talk about how some people should they say I'm just gonna be alone. I'm gonna be happy. I'm just, but a lot of people have been hurt so bad, and they're trying to find a way. And I think that's what the doctors has. Why she has the classes and the different things to help people, because a lot of people are hurt, but they may not talk about it, and they might not even say they're feeling that way. But so the way to make yourself feel better after being hurt and going through so many different issues, you get to a point in your life, well, I'm just going to be single and I'm going to be happy with myself. I don't need anybody. And maybe that could be true with some people, but I do also think that when people have been hurt, that's kind of what they revert to, is to say that so they can feel like it protecting themselves. Um, but not really saying I've been hurt. So that's what I've been hurt, and I don't know what to do. So I'm glad. I'm also glad the doctor has these classes that people can talk to her about, or that they can open up. A lot. Sometimes we do need counseling, and we do need guidance, and just someone that can show us how to talk to yourself. I guess being honest with ourselves and being able to be honest about how you feel will help you move forward. I just I didn't I meant to mention that back then, and so I just wanted to say that. So we appreciate, you know, people like the doctor that has these avenues that can possibly help heal and help connect, open up the mind. And I think there's nothing wrong with having a nice friend. Know, sometimes you'll just have a friend. What they call them, companion. It may not be, may not even be planning on just getting married yet, and maybe not even living together, or maybe not even being intimate that far, but just have a companion where you go shop together, where you eat together, and just start building. To me, I think that's nice. If you have a friend like that you get along, and I believe that's kind of like what the doctor's saying. Once you take some time, a little more than she said 3 months, or it sounds like she was saying, but need a little bit longer. Because what I find, if you keep talking to someone, eventually things are gonna come out. That's just the way it is. So if you're 3 months and 6 months in a year, and things will start to show themselves. And like she said, if once you get that little thing going in the middle, you got your good friend. Hey, who knows where it may go? It may go some great places. So I think that's nice. I think that's a nice idea.
Thank you, London. We're gonna go to our next topic, and I'm not sure if everybody wants to stay for this topic, but I wanted the ladies to share their information if anyone would like to reach out to them. Um, Starting with TV host Denise Scott, would you like to share your information if anyone would like to connect with you?
Yes. My name is Denise Scott. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, um, YouTube as well. I also have my own personal website. But you can reach me at Denise's World. It's DENISES World 22 at gmail.com. Thank you.
Thank you. And if you do have a chance, if you want to put that in the private chat, that would be great also. And Dr. Charlene, can you share your information for those that may want to reach out to you?
Yes, I have a website which is the same as my book, which is seniorseekingsoulmate.com. My book is Senior Seeking Soulmate. You can get it on Amazon. It's an international bestseller. I have the email, which is dr.smith at seniorseekingsoulmate.com. On TikTok, it's the Senior Love Coach. I'm opening up my YouTube channel, which will be the Senior Love Coach. On Facebook, it's Senior Seeking Soulmate or Charlene Smith. I have two pages. So just about anywhere you can find me with the Senior Seeking Soulmate. I do have courses. There's a course starting on the 21st of February. I'm going to have online courses that are going to be launching. And if you get the book, I'd appreciate a review on that. But in the book, it does have a lot of information about different types of relationships, like Miss Landon just said, having a really good friend, all the way up to looking for marriage. So it's all about finding out, what are the desires of your heart and becoming the partner that you desire. So thank you so much for having me on tonight. I'm not going to stay on for the discussion about Katt and Monica. Is that right? Is that the right
Monique.
Monique.
Monique, yeah, yeah. I've seen enough of that on Facebook, so I'm gonna keep my love going and get ready for my celebration tomorrow for Valentine's Day. And I wish you all much love and happiness and joy in your life, and that God may give you all many, many blessings. And this was such a treat for me. So if you ever want to have me back on again, I'm more than happy to come and give a little talk or something like that. So thank you all. God bless you. And I'm going to say good night. My contact information is in the chat also.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure having you, and you have a happy and blessed Valentine's Day. And we will definitely be keeping in touch with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Y'all be blessed. Bye bye.
Bye bye. All right, ladies. So, thank you. This is Irene, actually. So, I didn't get a chance to give my contact information out, but um, I have a podcast and we talk about faith, love, and trends. And you guys can check that out anytime on my website at cbiztvmedia.com. That's CBIZTVmedia.com. You can also email me at cbiztv@yahoo.com if you would like to connect. We have a lot of great topics. One of our series is Single Christian Girl. Again, I have my project out now called Why I Didn't Get Married. That's a special subscriber only. And you can also get it as a audio style book as well. So you can either do that or you can subscribe to the podcast to hear that special episode. So thank you so much and continue to listen as we talk about faith, love, and trends on CBiz Media. Now, what about you, Pastor London? Can you share your contact information for LICMC Radio?
Well, yes, you can listen to LICMC.net radio, 24/7 radio station. You can also, if you even want to text me, you can, or call 248-701-0885. 248-701-0885. We have a lot of connections and platforms that we put together professionally for people that want to broadcast or sing or advertise or promote. Um, so you can be global all at the same time on all the platforms, and that's a lot of what we do. So you can also message me at London LONDENDORIS at gmail.com. And so we're pretty well connected. If you want to get out there to put it out there, then we're the one stop shop for you. And like they say, we can definitely connect you on all platforms. And even if you want your own live and television channel, we have a TV channel network as well. So God is good. Anything you want to do, just let us know. We can curtail it to even your idea that it hasn't even been birthed yet. So once you come up with an idea, we can help put it together for you.
All right, thank you so much. And happy Valentine's Day to everyone that's watching. If you're watching a replay or whatnot, just remember we love you here, LICMC Radio. God bless you and happy Valentine's Day to everyone, and God bless you. We're gonna we're gonna get to our next topic. I think we have the Sylvias have stopped in. Hello, Sylvias. Is there anything you'd like to say concerning celebrating love before we get to our next topic?
Hey, happy Valentine's Day, everyone.
Me, I agree.
Happy Valentine's Day. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for the love. We appreciate you. Is there anything else you'd like to
Yes,
say?
we do.
We do. Mwah.
Thank you so much. We feel the love. We feel the
God
love.
loves you too.
We feel the love
Of course,
online.
he's a big donor.
I think for some reason. Okay, I think I lost you guys. Well, hopefully you can come back, get back on. But we have about, we only have about 10 to 12 minutes because we want to replay this later on. So we're going to get into our next topic. I'm trying to find the graphic here. But we're going to be talking about Katt versus Monique. I don't know if you ladies have seen the presentation on Club Shay Shay, but you know this has been a hot topic for I think a month plus now, and so I kind of wanted to chat a little bit about it. But for those that don't know, Katt Williams and Monique, they're both well-known comedians, and Katt was the first one to come on Club Shay Shay, which is Shannon Sharp's program that's on YouTube. And he got millions of views, and he was exposing things that go on in the comedy world, that go on in the entertainment world. And then Monique, who had kind of been a whistleblower even before Katt, was telling her personal situation, how she wasn't being treated fairly as a black female comedian in Hollywood, and sharing her situation. So after Katt, Club Shay Shay had Monique come on and share some more about, you know, the different things going on in Hollywood and in entertainment and comedy, and just how things go in the industry that, you know, people may not know about. So I wanted to see if you ladies had any thoughts about the whole Katt and Monique. Like, what did you think about Katt versus Monique? As far as, I'm not trying to pit them against each other, but just, you know, by seeing Katt's presentation and then seeing Monique's presentation, what are the differences? What are your thoughts on their different stances? Just generally.
Oscar-winning actress. Well, he invited her to open up. I don't sit here and trying to listen to it. On Thursday, via Instagram, Katt would even share a poster that's a parody of the Marvel's Avengers. So anyway, Katt. First, I thought that Katt was supportive of Monique, but I don't know. I'm kind of trying to figure out what they're doing. It looks like Katt is taking all the a lot of the comedians that they say they have been having their script stolen, their jokes stolen, they've been abused, they've been mistreated by others. And Katt has this thing called he's doing I'm trying to get back to it. Hold on. It's called the Civil War Death Comedy Jam, which is due to come out on April 28th. And but you know what? He's got all these people's faces on here, even the ones you talked about. I really don't know what they're doing. One thing it is, he's getting a whole lot of attention, and we're just taking him to. I mean, he's already out there to another level, but I'm not trying to still see if it's Katt versus Monique or Katt and Monique are together. Sounds like they're together, but I'm not really sure at this point. Because I think he did a feedback on Monique. You know, real quick, you know, the information that Katt gave out appeared to be true, because they had little snippets and pieces of evidence that they were showing. So he's just telling his truth, I guess. But it kind of makes you feel kind of like, okay, then I hope did they really? Did Steve Harvey do that? Did the Cedric the Entertainer do that? Did these people do that? You know, and I mean, it sounds like some of it has evidence to it. Uh, I find listening to his conversation, he is very, very intellectual. And when somebody interviews him, he is so smooth with the interview or answering questions or giving feedback. It seems like you better have it together when you talk to him, because he, you know, he talks. He may be over your head about the conversation. I find him to be very intellectual to me. So, and I always did like him because when he came out before with the other guy, and I can't think of his name, years ago, you know, and then he was in Norbit and a few other. He's just funny to me, but sounds like he's doing really well in his life. Monique, I'm kind of on the fence about her. She's telling the truth, but the thing is, uh, if you keep saying the same thing over and over again about somebody, and they did this and they put her on a blacklist, which if they did, it was wrong. But almost, I hate to say it, but I call them crybaby. Her and and other ladies like they're crybabying a lot, and she in her conversation, she was trying to pull other uh entertainers in to fight for her about what with Tyler Perry did and what Oprah did, and I think a lot of people don't really want to get mixed up in that because they are some, you know, like for instance Kevin Hart. And I remember the conversation I believe she was having on Shay's show that Kevin was saying, "Well, I'm going to, you know, support your sister and this and that." And she pulled him in. She wanted him to talk to. She's trying to get an apology, a public apology from both of them. And so she was saying, from what I heard on her to say, that Kevin Hart made a phone call to talk to he said, well, he didn't know Oprah that well, but he did know Tyler Perry. So when he called her back, he said, well, why don't we just move on and, you know, kind of listen put things together. I'll support you. And she said, not long after that, he dropped the ball. And whoever that is, or whoever that works for him, because Kevin Hart is out there. Kevin is big. He's bigger than life right now. All over the place, making all kind of money. He's one of the hardest working comedian actors that you see him on everything, everywhere. So maybe the advice was don't get tied up in there because now you're gonna blemish yourself. That's my thought. That's my personal opinion. I'm not sure. But she was
Okay.
crying about
We only have a few minutes left, so I want to see if I can get Miss Denise Scott's opinion right quick. We only have a few minutes left. I'm going to ask you, Denise, What do you think about the whistleblowing and the naming of names? What are your thoughts on that?
Ooh, that is a lot. Excuse me. um, I think that what I mean, not Kevin Hart, but what Cat Williams did was right to a certain point. I mean, that is his truth, in his mind. Um, I did also watch Ice Cube, who produced the movie, come back and say that most of what Kevin Hart said was the truth. Some of it was, exaggerated and a fabrication, but for the most part, it was the truth. So that's kind of scary in a sense to me because you sitting here, you already have the fortune and the fame. Why are you doing this to your fellow
Mm-hmm.
people that you have been around for years and years? I mean, it didn't make sense to me, even though he did what he did, and even though it was the truth. You can't knock him for telling his truth, especially about all the people that he was talking about. But at the same time, I didn't think, I think it was kind of wrong of him to do that, you know, because either way, he did what he did, and at the same time, those people are who they are. And if they know themselves and they know God and they know they didn't do anything wrong, they gonna still keep moving. They still gonna keep making the money. So the, I don't understand why he did it. But as far as Monique concerned, because I know we don't have that much time. As far as Monique concerned, I love her. She was one of the reasons why I always, not just her, but for all of those that paved the way why I wanted to be an actress. You know, so Oprah, woo wee. I'm not gonna talk bad about her, but at the same time, I think that she deserved to pay people what they're owed. Um, Her and what Tyler Perry did, even though he didn't say nothing, he could have said something. Because she's been in the business for a long time. Big little girls look up to her. Skinny people look up to her. So why not make her, give her her flowers and give her her due respect? At the same time, what she said was, I don't have anything too much to say about that. I saw both of them. I watched both of them 2 times just so I can get a clear understanding. Um, so I think that she spoke her truth about, the things that Oprah did and the things that Tyler Perry did. And I feel like and what Kevin Hart did was wrong. But that's just my opinion because like I said, you have to work with people. You're all in the same business. We're all, and I'm not talking about skin color because we're human beings. So if we're all in this place where you can bring other people up, don't tear nobody down just because you can. And that's just my thoughts.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, we're gonna have to revisit this topic because I see you ladies both had a lot to say. So hopefully we can revisit this topic in the future. Um, I like both of them. I'm glad that they both were able to put it out. Kat got more love than Monique. A lot of people have been upset with Monique's delivery in the past of how she's come out and shared some of this information, and she's still getting a little bit of hate from being on Club Shay Shay. But I think from what I saw, she carried herself well in that situation, and I do think she did well on Club Shay Shay as well. But sometimes I think it's a double standard with men and women. But we know that Monique does have a different style and delivery in the way she does things, and she doesn't back down. But it seems like a double standard when women come out and do this type of thing versus men. It seems like men may get more love versus women may just be seen as whiny or gossipy or crybabies. So all of that kind of comes into play. But thank you guys for listening and joining us tonight. We want to say happy Valentine's Day to everyone. We gotta go. Have a blessed one, and we're gonna be talking more right here on LICMC Radio. God bless you. Thank you to everyone for joining us, and have a good night. Good night, everyone.
Good night and thank you.